European leaders and American officials are striving to finalize a security guarantees agreement that includes the possibility of American troops being present on Ukrainian territory. According to Bloomberg, citing sources, the talks in Paris will focus on how to integrate the capabilities recently proposed by Washington with the plans developed by the coalition of willing countries. The meeting will be hosted by French President Emmanuel Macron. The United States will be represented by President Donald Trump's envoys Steve Witkoff and Jared Kushner. The U.S. is also prepared to assist in monitoring the ceasefire, including by providing intelligence information, sources said. Drones and satellites will be used to detect violations. Earlier, Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelenskyy, following a meeting with national security advisors from the coalition of willing states, stated that work on security guarantees, Ukraine's recovery, and a step-by-step action plan to achieve peace had been accelerated. He said that Ukraine expects the work on the relevant documents to be completed by the end of January. At the same time, the New York Times reports that Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelenskyy is losing optimism about peace. The Ukrainian leader's assessments regarding the prospects for peace talks with Russia have become significantly more cautious amid ongoing consultations between Ukraine, the US, and Europe. According to the publication, Kyiv is increasingly preparing for a scenario in which Moscow refuses any agreements. Despite the fact that not long ago Zelenskyy stated that a peace agreement was 90% ready, he now says that progress has essentially stalled and Russia's position remains unclear. According to President Zelenskyy,
there are two paths. The first is to end the war. The second is to prepare for negative actions from Russia.
During the meeting of the coalition of willing countries, Ukraine's allies will aim to define as precisely as possible their contributions to future security guarantees for Kyiv in the event of a ceasefire with Russia, Reuters reports, citing diplomats and officials. During the meeting of the coalition of willing countries, Ukraine's allies are striving to define as precisely as possible their contributions to future security guarantees for Kyiv in the event of a ceasefire with Russia, Reuters reports, citing diplomats and officials. As the agency notes, the goal of the meeting is to form a common position for Ukraine, Europe, and the United States, which can then be presented to Russia.
Peace in Ukraine is getting closer. The key outcome of the recent negotiations was the U.S. declaration on security guarantees, including the deployment of American troops in Ukraine. This statement was made by Polish Prime Minister Donald Tusk.
We have assessed the results of the first stage of serious negotiations involving the leaders of Ukraine, the U.S., the EU, and Canada. Peace has appeared on the horizon. There is no doubt that events have taken place that give reason to hope this war could end quickly. But it is still just hope. We are still far from 100% certainty.
According to Tusk, the U.S. has declared its readiness to participate in security guarantees for Ukraine after a peace agreement is signed. He noted that the security guarantees include the presence of American troops, for example, at the border or along the line of contact between Ukraine and Russia.
These unequivocal declarations have appeared for the first time. Let's see how consistent our partners on the other side of the Atlantic will be. But this gives hope that these negotiations will end in success. By success, I mean the end of the war.
Meanwhile, in China, there is eager anticipation for the achievement of a binding peace agreement that would eliminate the root causes of the crisis and bring lasting peace to Europe. This was stated by Chinese Foreign Minister Wang Yi.
The Ukrainian crisis has been going on for almost 4 years now, and throughout this time, China has been persistently working to create conditions for peace and mutual understanding among all parties.
According to him, as one of the initiators of the Friends of Peace group on the Ukrainian crisis, China sincerely welcomes all efforts that contribute to its peaceful resolution and is actively cooperating with other parties to achieve a ceasefire and promote dialogue.
Today, a window for negotiations has opened, and there are cautious hopes that peace is drawing nearer. Although the road ahead remains difficult, China is ready to continue playing a constructive role and looks forward to achieving a comprehensive, lasting, and binding peace agreement to address the root causes of the conflict and achieve lasting peace and stability in Europe.
It should be noted that earlier it was reported that NATO believes China and Russia could attack Europe and Taiwan simultaneously.